What I love about your character in this film is that you're playing like the average girl to Will's character. I mean, it must have been really refreshing to kind of not be kind of, looked at as like the babe, of.
I am? I thought I was playing the babe.
You are the babe, but this is really funny, the way that he kind of like plays it, he plays it off that you're kind of like,
yeah,
you're
but
just
then
a
he
guy.
realizes at the end that I'm a babe.
But it's a funny
No,
joke.
It's funny, yeah, it's a cute joke. And I love the fact that she's kind of, this out of this world character who saves lives during the day, but also cooks 6-course meals and used to dance for the Knicks. She's just kind of like, when McKay and I and Will were talking about her and their relationship, McKay was like, just keep thinking, like, because there's so much improv, He's like, just hang in there and keep thinking, what would the absolutely perfect wife do? Because that's going to make the joke that much better, that you're perfect and you try so hard, but that Will Ferrell's character still thinks like, no, not so much. So that was the whole joke, which is really fun.
It definitely works. And so, like, working with a guy like Will then, who throws stuff at you all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
How are you prepared to kind of counter that? Because obviously you have to stay in character, but also maybe give it the goods,
Oh, for sure. I took an improv class, which was really fun, which is something I didn't prep for it before the movie. And I just knew my material backwards and forwards so that I always had a point of reference. Like I could always go back to the script. It gets a little tricky because we could definitely go off into a whole other world with improv. But what the great thing about McKay is that there is a structure already with the script. So as long as we do it a few times as written, no improv, and then we start going crazy. So it was great to know my character backwards and forwards, because there's certain things that would be like, well, I would say that, but Sheila wouldn't. You know what I mean? So it was really fun to.
How far could you go? I mean, like, if given the opportunity, and it's just about riffing, and Will goes there, how far can you kind of match his insanity, that kind of thing?
I can match insanity pretty well. Yeah, I broke him once. So I am very happy to say I broke Will Ferrell. Broke him to tears.
Can you talk about that?
I didn't cry, but you know what I mean. I forget what exactly it was. It was me and him at the dinner table, and Mark Wahlberg was there. It was a scene where we all meet, and what did I call him? I said something. We were just totally, improving, and he said something. He broke me a bunch of times, but I did, and I was like, God, this guy doesn't break. He's amazing. And I broke him once, and I think it's when I called him I said that his power in the bedroom was just one of sheer brute force, and he lost it.
To work with Adam, obviously you love the film Anchorman. If you can talk about how you heart that film and how it kind of like, was it a campaign for you to work with him on this film, or like?
Well, I think I had Adam, I hadn't met the guys before, but AFI a few years ago did their 100 most, amazing films in cinematic history, and of course there's like The Bicycle Thief and The Shining and, Citizen Kane. And I, of course, love those films and talked about them, but I had to narrow my #1 to Anchorman. And McKay said he saw that, so that was kind of funny for him. He saw it on the website, and that kind of started the spark. And then we had lunch, and that was it. Because it was over. I love him so much. And I was quoting Anchorman the entire time during lunch.
I love the fact that you can still be fangirl about, and still be,
for sure.
Do you lose it around him still, or is it like, do you have a professional
No, it's not losing it like, oh my God, it's not that kind of losing it. It's losing it like, I'm in a glass case of emotion. Like I just quote losing it like that. Or like, ribs, had ribs for lunch. It's like quoting Ron Burgundy in that movie, it's that kind of losing it. Like geeky, nerdy, like trivia, losing it.
To watch Mark, who is so known for being, a serious action, a drama actor and stuff like that. Did you find that he was, I don't know, because he's surprisingly funny. We just saw him at the press conference.
So funny.
But we don't get to see that. This is the first time for us to be able to see that. So what was it like working with him and seeing him do? Like,
well, I thought he was hysterical in that movie, that David O. Russell movie.
The flirt, no.
But no. But
Huckabees.
Huckabees. I remember seeing that, and I was like, Mark Wahlberg's funny as a fireman, and that fight in the lawn, I thought he was hysterical. So I knew there was a spark. And then that whole SNL thing, like everybody kind of saw like, okay, it's funny. So yeah, that was a treat for me.
Do you find your kind of humor, like, do you look to the you know, like, do you look to Lucy and like all those kind of like people for inspiration, or do you feel like you have a very specific Mendes style?
Oh God, I wouldn't even go that far. I mean, I guess Lucy, yeah, she's funny. I don't really have an inspiration in a way, because I don't know. I just think, you know, the things that are funny to me are usually gross and disgusting. So there's definitely that darker kind of filthier sense of humor that 7th grade sense of humor.